Hello. How are you? How was your week? Did you do anything fun? We were going to go to a festival this weekend, Bentley and I, but evidently no dogs were allowed. So, yes, so we didn't get to do that, but we're going to a festival this weekend. So it's October. Love October. Love Halloween. See, Bentley's in. I'm getting started early. Bentley's in his pumpkin costume. His little hat on. Let's see. But we also have cauldron. Blowing up something in the cauldron. And our little pumpkins. So, yes. Getting into autumn. Getting into fall. Love it. So, anything special you have planned? All right. So, let's talk about all natural versus organic. Because what you put in your body can make you feel good or it can make you feel like shit. All right. So, break it all down. So, natural in terms of agricultural means that the product has not been chemically treated, while organic means that the crops were grown without the use of synthetic pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers. Organic farming methods can be more labor intensive than conventional farming, so that makes the price of organic food higher than that of food of conventionally grown farming methods. Had a real inexpensive. We had a really good family friend who he had an organic garden, and so he always gave my mom the first tomato of the season, and he spent a lot of time in his garden. And I mean, he even like mulched up leaves. Like he would have leaves from the fall and crunch them up, save them, mulch them up, and then use them as mulch. So everything in his garden was like 100% like organic, everything he did. And it was really good, but it is very intensive. So he just had a little garden in his backyard. So imagine turning that into a farm, like a huge farm, and having to tend to that. It's a lot. So now that makes sense, because I was kind of like, oh, it's organic. Why does it cost so much? They don't have to add the pesticides and stuff to it. It's just because it's just a lot more to it with farming. So let's break it all down. All natural. When you see the 100% all natural, it looks like a green stamp that's like stamped onto the product, the food. So the all natural, 100% all natural label, anyone can use this label. It's not regulated. The USDA organic, regulated by the USDA organic stamp, that green one as well, is regulated by the USDA with strict requirements. So they have a whole checklist they would have to check off, kind of like if your hospital is becoming AHA accredited, right? So you have that whole checklist you have to check off. Same thing. All natural ingredients, so means it's from nature and are considered natural even if they are heavily processed. All natural ingredients means that the ingredients are from nature and they're considered natural even if they are heavily processed. So just because it's all natural doesn't mean it's not processed. Organic. Organic only uses approved organic farming methods, including a requirement that at least 95% of the ingredients must be organic. So if you find a food product and it has that USDA organic stamp on it, and you flip it over, you look at the list of ingredients on the back, at least 95% of those ingredients, so at least 95 to 100% of those ingredients are organic. Okay? So that's part of the requirements for it to get the stamp. All natural, high fructose corn syrup is considered natural by the FDA. So high fructose corn syrup is actually processed, but the FDA considers it all natural. So let me tell you a little something about the FDA. So the FDA, you can put a certain amount of food or a certain amount of an ingredient in a food, and as long as it doesn't hit a certain number or a certain percentage, they don't have to list it. So, for example, let's say like sugar. I honestly, I don't know what the percentage is, so I'm just using this as an example. So don't hold me to the percentage amount. But let's say if there's like 2% of sugar in there, they have to list it. Well, if they put 1.5% of sugar in it, then they don't have to list sugar in the ingredients. So, something to keep in mind. Organic means it is non-GMO. No, they didn't use any growth hormones or antibiotics allowed in the food. So that none of that is allowed. A lot of your meat, I should say a lot of your processed meat uses growth hormones all the way on the farms because they need to get it in quicker. Got to make that money, right? So they use growth hormones to grow the animals quicker. Then in turn, they process the animals, goes on the shelf. You eat it, your kids eat it. You just fed yourself and your kids hormones. That was in that animal. You in the veterinary field should know this. Okay? You should know, you know that process is what they intake. You intake it too, right? All right. So, all natural. There's no regulation on treatment of animals or what they are fed. Organic, livestock must be fed organically and treated humanely. So, I am a pescatarian. I love seafood. I eat seafood. I know some people would say that's a little hypocritical. But I'm also careful about where I source my food. My husband Sean used to be a pescatarian. I did it for moral reasons. I'm not saying he's immoral by no means. He is moral. So yes, he's careful about how he sources food too. I went moral because I saw how livestock was being treated. He decided to go, or he did it for health reasons because that's what we thought was healthy, right? Well, everybody's different, right? Everybody, some people can handle certain types of food and other people have reactions to them, whether they're small or big. My husband started doing more research and he decided to do a carnivore diet. That works for him. It helps him with different things. He does a carnivore diet where he's meat only, dairy. We do dairy. And now he's kind of like cleaned out his system and everything's fine. So he's slowly adding other things in to see what he can tolerate. So, again, everybody's different. So you need to do what you need to do. But I say this in a sense, so when he went to a carnivore diet, he found this farm. It's called White Oak Pastures out of Bluffton, Georgia. White Oak Pastures had worked with Temple Grandin, which I know a lot of you know the name and a lot of you don't. She is a huge activist on treating animals humanely. They worked with her, so they actually humanely euthanize their animals. But here's the other key thing. They actually get to live their life. They live their life to their peak, and then before they start downgrading where the meat wouldn't be good anymore, where they start downgrading, they then humanely euthanize them. So they actually get to live their life, and then they're humanely euthanized, and then they utilize all aspects of them. So it's a regenerative farm. This is the only meat I will eat for the moral reasons, right? Because they treat their animals with respect and morally. They get to leave, pastures, free range, grass-fed, everything. So this is the only meat I will eat for that reason. Because that, again, I stopped eating meat for different reasons than what Sean did. But I say that in a sense. So for all of you who went vegetarian, vegan, or anything like that, if that works for you, great. If you stop for moral reasons, I would say definitely check them out. So depending on what your reasons are. So yes, but anyways, there's also a chart. So this information I got from a chart. It's a really cool chart you can look at. The link is in the description. It has all natural on this side, organic on this side, so you can compare. But the article below it with this chart is interesting because the guy goes into more detail about why these specific things are in the chart. It is really interesting. So I would definitely check that out. It's not a long read, so don't worry. It looks like it is because it has all the advertisements in the middle, but it's really not a long read. But it's a good read. Interesting read. If it's interesting, it's never long, right? No matter how long it is. But yeah. And two, I also say, whatever you decide to eat, organic or not, just wash it. Please, please, please wash it. Even if it says it's been washed multiple times, because you know how sometimes you can buy that lettuce in the store, it says like triple wash or something like that. Wash it yourself. Wash it again. I read this book. It's called Silent Spring by Rachel Carson. And after reading this, I'm very aware and make sure that I wash everything. It's interesting, but also a little scary too. So yes, make sure you wash it. All right. And again, I'm not here to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. I am here to provide you the information with these things and make sure you know what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, because sometimes we may think one thing and it's something completely different. I thought all natural was all natural, literally. I didn't realize it wasn't processed food. But it is, and it can be. And so I'm just here to provide you the information. You need to do what's best for you. Everybody's body is different. Your body reacts differently, and you need to clean your system out, figure out what works for you, because you will feel better when you're doing what works for your body. Okay? And it will help you at work. It will help you prevent burnout. It will help you work through burnout. Okay? So that's the most important thing, right? All right. So thank you for watching. Remember, if you need to speak with someone, you have Lifeboat with NOMV, Not One More Vet. And again, remember that this peer-to-peer, so Lifeboat is a peer-to-peer. Remember, just because it has veterinary in the name, it's also for technicians and assistants. So if you're in the field, it is for you as well. So not just veterinarians. You also have 988. If you need to speak with someone immediately, you can call or text them. Or you can text home to 741-741. I did put all these links in the description. There's also another resource link to NOMV's resource page in there as well. So if you need that, definitely check those out. And if you don't need them, check them out so they're there. You know what's there if you need it. Okay? And make sure anything you may need to make note of and put it in your phone or however in that moment that would make you go to that if you need that. Okay? So with that being said, my poem for you guys, as always, which is inspired by an old poem. You may not know that the world needs you, but it does. For no one else can smile your smile, say your piece, shine your light. You are unique, and you alone can fill your place. If you were not here to shine your light, what would happen to pilgrims passing by your empty place in the darkness without your light to help them on their way? You may not know that the world needs you, but it does. So remember, what you do matters, and the world is a better place with you in it. All right, guys. Until next week, I think we're going to talk about sugar. All right. Till next week, do something fun. Do something for yourself. If you need someone, reach out, please. All right. And we'll see you later. Take care and be safe.